Hi, Salam Alaikum. Suleiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Sisters and brothers, another weighty message. The Lamb's Book. The Lamb's Book, the most sought after book in the universe. The Lamb's Book, most misunderstood book. But they call it the Lamb's Book for a reason, because that's what it is, the Lamb's Book. Only his, not the God, the Lamb's. Why? Because he is the one that certifies. It tells you in the book of Malachi that the messenger of the covenant will purify the gold and the silver. Purify it and say, wash it down. You purify, when you purify something, you can make it 100%. Not 98%. That's not purification. It still got flaws in it. Still got, it's not 100%. If it's got flaws in it, right? Impurities. That's why it's called impurities. It's not pure. So it has to be 100%. It has to have no impurities. That's a weighty job. And it was given to Suleiman alone to do. And the God entrusted it to him. Because when he comes to deliver, he's only going to take what's in the Lamb's book. And that's what he's going to work for. So that's what he's going to work with to build his kingdom. See? So everybody has a job to do. Elijah had a job to do. He did his job. No one's complaining about Elijah's job. Oh, he made mistakes because he's not the God. But he did his job exactly what he did, exactly what he's supposed to do, 100%. The Lamb's Book. This process began 50,000 years ago when Dr. Shabazz decided that he wanted to turn his entire tribe from angels into gods. Let's make man our likeness, our image. Let's talk about us. Let's not talk about KV. You need to understand the genesis for that. But you need to understand the angel. So you need to have knowledge of the book after the seal has been broken. And none of these clowns out here, at least I don't know of any, that claims to have broken the seals. Elijah Muhammad never claimed to have broken them. Master Muhammad never claimed to have broken them, right? Even Lion Farrakhan, as far as I know, has not claimed, he's claimed to be everything else. He hasn't claimed to have broken those seven seals. And that's what you need to identify who the Lamb is. Before you get the Lamb's Book of Life, you have to identify who the Lamb is. And most people don't know. 99.9% of the planet don't even know. And there's a lot that know, right? But they're not stepping forward. All kinds, because they wish they had been the Lamb. Here, Farrakhan, his so-called swan song said he wished that, why didn't God choose him? Why didn't God choose him to be? I mean, was he that guy? Is he out of his damn mind? What the hell is he smoking? He had a chance. He had to be. He claimed he was chosen. Well, okay. Well, if you can't see this Elijah, then you had a big job like Elijah. So what was wrong with that? But you couldn't handle that. You couldn't handle that. The Lamb's Book. See, it tells you you were tried in the furnace of affliction. This process started 50,000 years ago. And it takes a certain, it's just like if you want a so-called PhD, it takes certain things to qualify for it. You just can't walk up and say, I want a PhD and pay for it. You have to meet certain qualifications. Period. See? And to be in the Lamb's Book of Life, you have to meet certain qualifications that the God says this is what he wants, and the Lamb is supposed to certify that's exactly what he's going to deliver. He's the certification. He's the one that inspects the furnace and sees and looks at the gold to see if it's purified. He has to check, and he has to put his seal on it, his name on it. See? And the God is entrusting that to him. So he's going to present a flawed, impure gold to him, and they say, well, okay, this is certified. And he makes him a liar, and he's subject to be thrown into fire himself, because obviously he's not pure, because he's presenting impure products. See? The Lamb's Book of Life. It's the book of life, not the book of death. And you need to qualify to be in a new kingdom that's going to last forever. And you can't make up your own qualifications. See? Oh man, that's too hot. Well, then that means you can't make it. Oh, the fire's too hot. Well, then you can't stay in there. Get out. See? If you can't handle it, that's your you. But this is the qualifications. If those of you sports brothers and sisters out there, if you want to get an FFL, you want to qualify, you have to meet certain qualifications. Oh man, that's too hard. Well, then you don't make the cut. Then you don't make the cut. See, Negroes don't seem to understand that. They think, oh man, I why can I hang in there? How can I be a part of that? No, it don't work that way. You have to be certified. See, you can't make up your own certification. You can't make your own qualifications. You see, in Farrakhan's in Ohio, you can make your own qualifications. All you got to do is love Farrakhan. That's all the qualification you need. See, but that's not what it is with the Messenger of the Covenant. It says his job is to purify you. It says it right in Malachi, purify you. See? And it says he would baptize you with fire. See, Elijah Muhammad baptized you with water. It says he would baptize you with water, but he would come after him and baptize you with fire. See, with fire. See. Hold on for a minute, brothers and sisters. It tells you, brothers and sisters. It tells you what to expect. Dr. Shabazz told his people what to expect. When he went on this journey, his 50,000-year journey, when he began this journey, he told the people. Some of them didn't say, well, because he talked to the tribes. The other two tribes disagreed with him. They said, no, we're not going through that. See? So they said they was going to blend in. See? And especially the tribe of Hindi, they said they're going to blend in. See? And the tribe of Levi said, we ain't going to change at all. We're going to deal with it head on. We're just going to deal with it. But tribe of Hindi said, we're going to blend in. So you see the Arab, that's part of it, right? They're white now. They look white now. They wasn't white back then. 50,000 years ago, we were all black. See? And we look more like Somalis and Ethiopians, right, with curly hair, not nappy hair. There was people had nappy hair. That's not a trait that you can't just generate trait like they tell you in evolution. It was only the very special, the very elite had nappy hair. That was a very prized trait. The God had it. Some of the scientists had it. That was a very prized trait to have nappy hair back then. It was special. Only a few people had it because that nappy hair is the most is the dominant gene as far as hair is concerned. See, the dominant one, the best one. See, there's only a few people had it. The rest of the tribe Shabazz was like Somalis and Egyptians. Ethiopia, you see now, they had the curly hair. That's why Muhammad taught that. See? But he said he wanted to make the whole tribe turn the entire, because there was angels and there was gods. Gods, there was very few gods. There was definitely elite class. See? And there was the angels. He said, we're going to change we're going to transform all the angels, into gods. And all the two tribes said, oh man, we ain't going through that. And so, there was a conflict, was forced out of Arabia, right, into Levite land, which they call Africa. See? And then Dr. Shabazz started this process. And some of his own tribe disagreed with him. See? And somewhere along the line in 50,000 years, they broke away and migrated into the tribe of Levites. They got a lot of people that look like us, even amongst the Levites, right? But they're still not us, you know. See? I mean, well, they're us to an extent, but they didn't go through that. They broke away from the process as it went along. Just like right now, right? Um, since we've been here for 500 years, well, nearly 500 years, right? Many of us, right? This last 500 years, we're in a stretch now, and then some of us couldn't, broke away. Some turned to vipers. Oh man, I can't do this anymore. We near the finish line, and a lot turned to vipers. I can't do something. I'm getting my own right now, man. Hell with this. I ain't waiting to get no promised land. I'm getting my own right now. We have vipers. They're trees, they're not demons. See? But inside, man, they're not going. They're tired. They ain't going through more. But if they ain't going through anymore. They ain't waiting. They're not going through they're in the stress, man. I'm gonna get mine right now. That was some promised land. I'm going to take mine right now. Well, you got some taking attitude. See, all the way up to the end. See, so after all of this, only 144,000 is going to make it all the way to the finish line. Be qualified for the Lamb's Book of Life. Some will get 88, 90% pure. Some get 99% pure. See, but the thing is, Dr. Boss looked at all of that. See, and we know how people are going to go through a lot of them going to get, it's going to be very difficult. That's why I was designed a tribulation period, like an incubator. See, to go through. If you didn't make it in the Lamb's Book of Life, right? Then you had to make up, because maybe you got to 99, because you know that the Lamb would not take anything less than 100% pure. That's his mission. That's what he's told to do. 100%. I don't care if it's 99.99999. No, it has to be 100%. Have no flaws in it whatsoever. And I'm going to do that. Exactly what I was told to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's my mission. See, and they know I would do that. See? So therefore, because if somebody come along at 99%, man, well, it's almost a shame to say, okay, man, you can't make it after you got 99%. No, you got to be 100%, because we're not going to build a kingdom that's going to last almost forever. Have flaws in it. No, the God doesn't do things like that. The God always, everything Allah created is perfect. Even the devils are perfect, right? Everything, and so we don't start imperfections now. We don't start that right now. We're going to start doing anything and make things imperfection. There's nothing. Everything God made is perfect. Everything created, what we made and created. Look at the heavens; it's all perfect. Okay? So even this time of unprecedented, even this time of deprivation, right? See, we use that, take that to our advantage, right? To take, and I don't want to use perfectile, because that sounds like where we perfect. That means it wasn't perfect. To take and transform ourselves from one into a more powerful creation, from angels to gods. See? So for 500 years, we had to put the God of fire in the power. Give him that's Yakub. Is their fire. See, their fire to finish the purification process, burn us up. They went in the furnace with them. No one else could get in that furnace with us. We're the only one in that furnace. America is the furnace. America is the furnace. See? And nobody's in that furnace but us. Anyone else tried to get in that furnace, they didn't make it. The Haitians didn't make it because they broke free. They couldn't go all the way. That's why it says message to the black man in America. Yeah, a lot of them are seed of Abraham, but they could not go all the way. They broke away. Jamaicans, all of them to some extent broke away from the furnace. They couldn't withstand the heat all the way. The Haitians rebelled. See? So they were supposed to submit all the way, not halfway. And we submitted. And even when the furnace got hotter than it was supposed to be, we still stayed in it. A lot of our people left and went to Liberia, see, because they couldn't withstand the heat. See, you got the Bahamas, all these different places. My people are right. Jamaica, um, Cuba, Haiti, right? But for whatever reason, they didn't stay in the furnace. We did. So they're not 100% pure. They're not even close. See? And most of them are going to almost all of them going to a tribulation. And even then, most of them still won't make it there because they're not even close. To go through tribulation, you should be at least around about 90% to make it, because you only got about a year. And I don't think if you less than 90%, I don't think that that's enough time to purify you the other 10%. So those going to tribulation, most of them that are going to tribulation, they're going, they're going to be very close. The rest of them, right, in the tribulation period where they're not coming out, they're going to be burned up because they cannot get purified in that period of time. So the furnace will be very hot, and it's specifically designed for the silver. But silver needs a greater heat to purify than gold does. So the Lamb is here to not only purify you, but to set an example of what purification, what it takes to be purified. So you want to make up your own criteria? That's what you want to do? You want to say, oh no, I should do it this way or that way? No, he told you. So if you want to do it your way, fine. You got to get in that book. The Christians, they think they're in by default. Oh, we saved. They got another thought coming because they're not anywhere near it. You see, they're not anywhere near it. It's the Lamb's book. And the B, you have to qualify, and the qualifications, the Lamb tells you what the qualifications are. You make up your own qualifications. And see, the thing is, he can't have anyone around him, right, that call itself representing him, right, is not keeping pace with him, because people get the wrong idea and think, oh, 98%, right, that's good enough. See, because they see people around him, right, with 98%. No, because that would be a lie. That'd be dishonest. We tell them, oh, you be just like them and you be okay, because they're around you. They must be okay if they're around you. A lot of them around you, right? And they only 98%, then that must be okay. And then when they come to the time to be delivered, they can't be delivered unless Suleiman is going to tell a lie and certify them as 100% and tell the God, yeah, these are 100% when he know they're not. That makes him a liar. See, this is not a game, brothers and sisters. You see, and we see this because we've been told that imperfection. I mean, some pieces imperfection is supposed to be a good thing. You see, because we've been in here with KB for 40 years and set his example. We know he's definitely not pure in any sense. He's not even pure evil. He can't even get that right. He's not pure in any sense. You see, and so he taught us to accept things that are flawed, like eating chitlins and all those things he had us doing. You see, so therefore he's producing niggers. And so they think, right, oh, well, impurity is okay. And every time they get their hands on something that's pure, they turn it. It's like that's what Master does. Master turns gold into shit. That's his nature. He turns gold into shit. They took Europe, they turned it to a shithole. Then it came out and turned the whole world to a shithole. That's what they do. That's their nature. And demons, that's their nature. And then some of us, we've been taught so well by them that now we adapt that same idea. And so you see, every time a black organization gets set up that's trying to purify the black people, right? As soon as the Negroes get hold of it, right, they turn it to a shithole. They turn it to a shit farm. You see, they did the Nation of Islam. The demons, it wasn't just the demons doing that. You see, they did it to Marcus Garvey. They won't do it to the angel. See, they won't do it to the angel. I will not allow it. See, because if you ain't in the process of purifying yourself to the standard that Suleiman says, then you got to get out of here. Now you can go and tell people, call people to come into the furnace, but you can't call them in my name. They can't get the idea that you are an example of what it takes to get into that book. Because you'll be a liar, you'll be a deceiver. So they fall short. And then it'll be your fault and then my fault for allowing it to happen. They have to see what it takes. That's why you have the Lamb. He has to suffer all the sins of the world. He was slain from the foundation of the earth. He had to be on a 30-year process of constant showing faith and wisdom and perseverance, right? In the face of total opposition. He has to keep on going because he has to show what it takes to meet the standards of the God. Because remember, these are not my standards. These are the God's standards. Master from him is perfect. He's perfect in every way. It tells you that. The man does not sleep. He does not slumber. That he's perfect in every way. There's no flaws in him. He said, well, he got a devil body, but he has control of it. And that gives him the power to have the power that he has because he doesn't suffer energy deprivation. That's why he's a made God. That is part of that is part of what makes him who he is. See? But he's not a spatial God. He's a technical. But he doesn't have enough space to keep it under control. You see, that's the difference. And so therefore, because it said you will be like him. When you say, how you gonna be like him unless you transform, unless you make? It says when it says you do not know what you will be, but when you transform, you'll be like him. So that's what I mean. I got to make you like him. I got to get you prepared to be like him. I have to prepare myself also to be like him. That's what it takes, brothers and sisters. I'm in the furnace with you. I'm in the furnace with you. But I'm doing what it takes to make sure there's no impurities left. 30 years of constant in here. You say, well, oh man, well, you've been in 30 years. How you gonna tell me? Well, no, don't. We all have been in the furnace. We all have been in here. But some of you punked out. Some of you jumped out. See? Some of you went to try to find some cooler place in the furnace. See? But I stayed right in the center of the furnace, right in the intense heat for 30 years. You see? And now I'm trying to get you to understand what it takes to be pure gold and pure silver. And I will not err. I'm not going to present to the God a flawed product. I was selected for a reason. See? And God knew what he was doing when I was selected. See? And breaking the seals proved, right, that I was ready. But that's what it takes. That's why you have that angel. An angel finish off the impurities. It's all there, brothers and sisters. But I'm still in the furnace with you. I'm still in the center. You see? I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to set an example for you. But having broken the seals proved, right, that burned off all the impurities. Oh, I thought you said that you had that problem with Jonah. I did. I had that one issue. But that issue been resolved now. See? It's the Lamb's book, brothers and sisters. All other stuff, forget about that. The bottom line is, you have to be pure gold. So whether you understand all the things I've been saying or not, that doesn't matter. You got to cut to the chase on this one. You got to be pure gold and pure silver, period. So whether you understand me or not, the bottom line is, you have to be pure gold. You have to stay in that furnace. You have to follow his example. If you follow my example, right, and you meet the criteria that I tell you, then you'll be ready. You'll be certified. I'll certify you as pure gold. And your name will be recorded in the book. It tells you in the angel, right, in the 7 churches, right, your name could be snatched out. See? But you can get pure. You can get pure. And then you go back there and start doing things and cause impurities to come back into you. See? So you have to be careful of that one. It tells you that. The name can be taken right back out. You have to be consistent. See? There's another way of me telling you, you have to break through, you have to break free of the gravitational vortex. See? Because when you're pure, then you have enough energy to break the pull of this gravitational vortex. That's just another way of putting it. I mean, there's another way of telling you that's the level of pure. That's what tells you you're pure. If you can break through this gravitational vortex, that's another way to certify that you're pure gold. That you're pure gold. But most you can't because you got impurities. You got mortgages that's more important to you, right? You got spouses that's more important to you, right? You got children that's more important to you. You got these little flaws. I mean, I understand, right? But the point is, that's where it is. Oh man, I love my spouse. Okay, well, can you love your spouse? But if your spouse ain't on board, is it worth going being dragged into hell with her or him? No. If you got children, if your children ain't aboard, right? Is it worth be dragged to hell with them? I mean, that's your choice. That's the way it is, brothers and sisters. What can I tell you? That's the criteria of God, and I have to meet that. I can't change that. Remember, I get the book, but I don't have the transportation. I have the book. I get the tickets out, but I don't have the transportation. So we can have all the tickets you want. If the transportation don't arrive, then you lost anyway. That's where it was set that way. I certify he delivers. I certify he delivers. I can certify all I want. If he doesn't deliver, it doesn't mean anything. If he doesn't trust me, he's not going to deliver. So, man, I can't trust him. I'm not going to mess with that. And he go elsewhere. Elijah Muhammad was trusted with a message, and he delivered his message. He was left alone to deliver his message. Rob watched over him, but he was left alone because he don't sit around here. We don't sit around and watch people and see if they're going to do something. We're talking about God's here. At least even on an angel level, you don't do that. If you're given a mission, right, you are not given that mission unless you can handle that mission. Nobody will sit around here and hold your hand, keep checking, man, are you doing it right? Are you doing it right? No, you're selected, right? And now you left alone to that mission, and you expect to do it, and you better do it. If you accept it, now you don't have to accept it. Elijah Muhammad did not have to accept that mission. Prophet Muhammad did not have to accept that mission. He didn't have to accept it. But once you accept it, you better do it. I didn't have to accept this mission. Like I said, I always keep saying, they backdoored me on this one. They tricked me in this one because I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought I was just solving the puzzle. But that's what I do. I'm a genius at solving puzzles. Even the devil would miss that, but he never told me. I had to find out for other people. Come and tell me, man, did you know that you got scored like this? Because if I was a white boy, man, I'd been in papers and everything else. I'd been all over the papers. Oh man, this guy's a genius, a prodigy. See, just like my daughter, my oldest daughter. The girl was reading. I'm not talking about Jack and Jill. She was reading newspapers at 2 years old. And she was big as a 7-year-old. She was a big girl. And when she was in kindergarten, she was almost as big as a damn teacher. But they did not want to move her up past. They said, "Oh no!" They went out their way instead of giving her what they would have did to a white kid, right? And when she was in kindergarten, what they did instead of moving to the first grade, she was reading, reading everything, on first, second grade, third grade level, maybe fourth grade level, as far as I can tell. So they instead of doing that, they put a chair out in the hallway and set her out in the hallway. The teacher would come out and keep us special. I said, "Man, y'all better stop that stuff." This was in Chicago. I said, "No, we ain't gonna have that. You need to move her up." So we ended up had to put her in private school. You see, and we couldn't talk around her. My wife at that time, we could not talk around her, right? So we should spell stuff. If we was talking about different things we don't want to know about, so we'd spell it. Because she can understand every damn thing. And then she said, well, I know what you're spelling. 2 or 3 years, I know what you're spelling. See? So she's a prodigy in that sense. But like a lot of prodigies, she had no common sense. The girl had no common sense whatsoever. They used to tell you, you're a smart girl, but you have no common sense. You don't. See, and I'm not no You know, I have very few people skills. See, because I'm like a hermit by nature. What I do is study. See, and I follow the truth no matter where it leads me. I've already proved that over and over again. I've talked about. I'm not going to talk about it today. So you have to qualify, and I'm the one that sit here to certify that you're qualified, and my word is on it. My word is bond. See, and it will not fail. And everybody knows me, whether they like me or not, that my word is bond. If I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. And I'm not gonna certify you if you're not 100% pure gold. I'm not gonna present a flawed product to Master Fra Muhammad. So you want to sit around here and play games and pretend that you 100%. If you're an angel warrior, see, that doesn't mean you're 100%. That means that you're striving to be 100%. You know, that's because you follow an example to be 100%. So you can't sit around here and play games and scratch your hand and call yourself an angel warrior, and you're not. See, and then other people look at you and assume that you're a correct example. Then you be deceiving the people, and I'll be an errant because I'll be allowing it to happen. You're not going to do that, and that's why it says, you know, we see these Negroes around here. What they do every time they get a hand on something. I mean, it's to some extent it's not their fault because they've been trained that way. But and nowadays with Elijah Muhammad and then Suleiman come behind him, right, you should break those habits. You have plenty of time enough to get out of that and correct yourself. So if you haven't corrected yourself by now, right, then you then you're hopeless. It tells you. I mean, you better read the scripture over again. It tells you gives you all kinds of examples about the judgment. He talks about the, they was invited to a wedding, and they didn't come dressed for the wedding. Just because they wasn't dressed for the wedding, they was thrown out. What does that mean? Because they came in with the devil's names. That's one of them. The cross around the neck is another one. You understand? The judge, if you look at the judge is very stern. He's very stern judge. But he's a just judge. Because we look for 100% purity. We don't want a kingdom that's going to last 1,000 years. We don't want a kingdom that's going to last 10,000 years. We want a kingdom that's going to last forever. That means its foundation has to be perfect. Four square. That's what it takes, brothers and sisters. Yeah, you have to set the Lamb sets the example, because I have to set a problem. Because if I don't set a proper example, then that's a problem in itself. Because how can you be pure, right? If I can't set, because you don't know what pure, what it take, what the qualification is. You tell a person, well, man, you got to meet the criteria, but you don't tell them what it is. I mean, that's not good. So I'm the one my example is telling you what the criteria is. My example telling you what the criteria is. I say it again. My example tells you what the criteria is. Oh man, what you say curse words, that has nothing to do with being pure. Plus, this is their language anyway. And curse words primarily, when they give you a definition, we don't go by that definition. See, curse words, right? In my mind, has two different meanings. First, if you cursing someone, right, and God curses people all the time, so what's wrong with that? And the other one, by that definition, these are bad words, like saying shit and stuff like that. Well, no. In my mind, right, if a word is used improperly out of context, then that's a curse word. So you can say things that are like cavies are not devils. That's a curse word. That's a lie. Lies are curse words. Like Farrakhan's saying. But if you call shit, that's not a curse word. That's what shit is. What do you want to call it? Manure, right? Or you can call it that. But how do we know manure is not a curse word? See, who said that shit was a curse word, but manure wasn't? Why can't manure be a curse word? We're talking about the same damn thing. See, in other words, words they don't lack. See, so they get to define what's a bad word or not. This is their language. This is their damn language. So I'm not going to be tied down and ruled by their language. That's their damn language. See? I'm not judging anybody according to their language. Not our language. See? I mean, their language changes according to whatever they want to do. Because before, nigger was a good word. That was a proper word. Because that's what they call us, and that's what everybody use. But now, well, you can't say that word. Whoa, wait, why is it bad now? Why was it was good before? You see what I'm saying? They decide because they got the dictionary, and they can change the whole meaning of the Bible by changing the words in the dictionary. You better be careful, brothers and sisters. That's why we have the angel, because it's locked up, and they don't know you can't change something that you can't get your hands on. So they don't know how to change it because they couldn't get their hands on it. They couldn't figure out what to break the seals. So therefore, that's why it's protected. So they could not do a job on it like they did on everything else. Because they could have broke those seals, they could have did a job on the angel, and you would think the Lamb's Book of Life, right, was being in the Christian church or something. They're still trying to get that one over on you. The Lamb's Book of Life, brothers and sisters. Like I told you, every time I talk, and I've got enough presentations out there. I don't know. They tell me I got 600 or so. I don't know how many I got. And that's just on one channel. But every one of them has information, unique information. See, so I don't have to repeat myself over and over again. I've never had a conversation about the Lamb's Book of Life like this. And there's many things, topics I could talk about, because that's how much information that's in the angel. It's almost unlimited. Between that and the Bible, you got more than enough information for this period of time. The angel was designed for this period of time to get us through this period of time. The Quran was designed for 1,000 years of Muhammad's rule. It was designed for that, but it has wisdom in it that we could use now. But it wasn't designed to get us through this period of time. It cannot. It wasn't designed for that. That's why all the books in the past, they no longer exist. What's about all those holy books that the scientists written over 276 trillion years? They're doing every 24,000 years. They're writing all these books. What happened to all of them? Because they were perfect books for their time. They're no good to us now. They have wisdom in that we can use, but they don't have guidance. That's the difference. See, they don't have guidance for this period of time. They got wisdom in it. You can go in there and find mathematics, all kinds of things, right? Because they had books when they made the stars. They had books to tell you how to make the stars. So the scientists knew, so the people know how to make the stars. They had books to tell them how to make the planets. They had books that do all those type of things. That's how they did it. They had books to do those things. But we don't have those books now. They're gone. Because those things have been done. That's for those particular times. See? Books how to survive the gender war. Books how to survive the flame angels war. You see? Now we got the book how to survive, how to finish the purification process, how to get in the Lamb's Book of Life. See? Because this book is only to get you home. This book has there's nothing in this book to tell you what to do after you get home. See? You give a new book. This book shows you how to get home, how to certify, to be certified to get home. That's what this book does. The Quran does not give you that information. The Quran does not even speak about the Lamb's Book of Life. Because it wasn't for this period of time. Why tell you about the Lamb's Book of Life, right? When it's irrelevant. Now it's relevant. Because this is the last part. This is a certification process right now. We're going through the certification process, so you need to know about the Lamb's Book of Life. That's why you need to know about this. You will not find the Quran. You're not finding previous books because it didn't matter. And the Lamb's Book of Life, right? What happened to the Lamb? And the Lamb had to break the 7 seals. It tells you that you first saw it, you have to find out who the Lamb is. He has to break the 7 seals to even have a book. And then he has to be the one to qualify you, right? Because he has to be the best of the covenant. It tells you that that's the one that is during that time that's relevant. The Lamb's Book will be relevant when the messenger of the covenant comes along, when the one that breaks the 7 seals come along, right? That's when it's relevant. Where it was not relevant, so you not find them talking about it in previous scriptures, like the Quran and so forth, because it wasn't relevant. You hear things, the things they focus on in the Quran is the things that would take to guide them through that 1,000-year process when they was keeping the Europeans locked up in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. but now it's irrelevant. You got people still trying to hold on to the Quran. Well, that's the book for all times and all that kind of stuff. Well, they lost in time, and you don't want to be lost in time, brothers and sisters, because you can never find your way back. You can never find. And once you get lost, so you guys stay focused. That's why you stay focused on Suleiman. See, because he's like your GPS. See, well, if you get lost, nobody's gonna come back and look for you, and you can't find your way back. You're not gonna find your way back once you get lost. That's why I say you're not getting a second chance here. You get lost, you lose sight of the Lamb, right? Then you lost. You lost in time, and nobody's got time. And you got to make up the time. Even if we gave you a second chance, you could not make up that time. And nobody's ever going to trust you. You can't make up that time. Because the God, he's not going to stop. He's not going to slow down for you. And I got to keep up with him, so I can't slow down for you either. The only second chance you get is a tribulation. That's the only second chance you get. This is serious business, brothers and sisters. This is serious business. The Lamb's book. The Lamb's book. So you want to make up your own book? Fine. Like I said, this book will be 100%. Be certified. Because what it says? It says 144,000 says they had no blemish. They was without blemish. They was not corrupted with the woman. They was perfect. And they followed the Lamb wherever he went. That means they kept up with him. Read about the 144,000. Are you doing that? So you get mad with me? Oh man, why don't you? You've been doing it for 30 years, man. How we gonna keep up with that? That's your problem, brother. We've been at this 50,000 years. See, that's the criteria whether you like it or not. But you just slow down. No, I'm not gonna slow down. So everybody's gonna die because you can't keep up. If I slow down, that means I'm corrupting everybody else. That means I'm forcing other people, right? I'm giving other people the idea that 98% is enough, and it's not. Now, I'm not going to present you to Master Prophet Muhammad, right? And say, oh man, these are certified, and I'm going to tell them to lie. Oh man, and then when they're not 100%, I'm not going to do it. You've been told, brothers and sisters, 140,000, they're coming forth. And you're going to see them in a minute. You're going to see what pure gold looks like. You see, he says they keep up with the Lamb no matter what he does. Wherever he goes, they keep up with him. That means they're keeping up with the God. He said they're without flaw, without blemish. You see, they were singing a new song, which is the angel. He said no one could sing it, but those who heard it. But they was listening, and they heard it, and they could sing it. See? Now, I've been trying to teach you that song for 30 years. And you're not paying attention. You don't want to hear that song. You want to hear Jay-Z and Beyonce. Well, you listen to them. Get in their book. See how far that gets you. See, brother and sister, we're at the doorstep. See, we're right at the finish line, and all we got to do is step over. And most of you can't finish it. After 50,000-year race. After a 50,000-year race, and you're right up at the finish line, and you can't cross over. That is sad. You won't apply the energy to get over it, and you have the energy to do it. But the devil, see, you bow at the finish line, but the devil, he's right there. Oh man, no, hey, don't go, come over here, man. Let me talk to you for a minute. And so you about to step over. Oh, let me go see what he's talking about. Hey man, you seen this? You seen this latest video? All right, check this out, man. So you sit down and watch the video. And by the time you get back, man, the race is over. Then took the finish line and took it away. It's not there anymore. Man, why don't you come over here and check out Beyonce, man? Hey, man, I got this little chick over here, man. You know, I want to check her out. Hey, man, come on, why don't you do some vaping with me, man? See, right at the finish line. See, you're right at the finish line. That's what the demons are doing. That's the whole idea. I told you, self-imposed energy deprivation. Get you to use your energy, right, for everything else except for your deliverance. Deliverance of your people. See? Because now you have the energy to do it, and their job is to get you to distract you. Distract you right at the finish line, distract you from past stepping over. That's their whole job, Farrakhan's job. We ain't going nowhere. No, you ain't going over that. Ain't nothing over that finish line. Ain't nothing over there, man. They tell you get over there. Ain't nothing over there, man. You better stay over here, man, because that's where the real life is, man. Stay here in America. And you're going for it. And you're right here at the finish line. After 50,000 years of hell, and you right at the finish line, you say, hey, man, ain't no other side of the line, man. If you step over there, man, it's a damn pit, man. You're going to fall in, it's a cliff. You step over that line, man, you're going to fall down into a ditch. You come over here, man, stay on this side. Don't let nobody trick you, man. It's a ditch over there. It's a cliff. See? Because you can't see what's on the other side. That crazy man talking he's a messenger of the covenant. He's telling you, man, all the sides of the promised land. No, because it's dark. And he's telling you, hey, man, don't worry about it. The promised land over there. Because you can't see it. Only Suleiman is telling you what's over there. Because you ain't know anything about it. Oh, don't listen to him, man. Because if you step over there, man, it's a cliff. You step over there, you're going to step right into it. Because that's what they're telling you. If you go along with them, man, you go to them Muslims and everything, man, you're going to be in trouble. Nobody's going to like you, man. You're not going to be successful, man. You're not going to be able to get your job, man. You're going to be in prison. That's what they tell you. See? Because they tell you, man, ain't no promised land. There ain't nothing over there. Don't believe that crap. America is all there is. If you want to be successful, man, you got to follow the American dream. That's what they telling you, ain't it? And I'm telling you, no. But see, you can't feel and touch it because you have to go by faith. See, you have to take my word for it. But I'm presenting you evidence. See? But you accept what they say because you can touch and feel their reality. You can feel their iPhones. You can feel, right, their TVs. You can feel their concerts, right, and their video games. You can feel all that. But you can't feel the hereafter because it's not here yet. You can't feel the promised land because it's not here yet. You can't feel none of that. You can't feel the hell that you're about to step into either. But you're going to feel it in a minute. And that's their power. Because they say, hey, man, look, here's a trinket, man. Look, here's this. Man, it's a BMW, man. That's real. See, that's real, man. See? That's real, man. And here's this pretty old chick over here, man. And his old handsome old dude over here, man. And if you're a little transgender, we got that for you, too. See? Man, you get you a mortgage, man. Look, you get this $1 million house, man. You don't have to pay for it all at once. You can just pay down so much a month, a mortgage. So you can have all these different things. And those are things that are tangible. You can put your fingers on, you can touch. See? And so, in the promised land, you can't touch it. It's a vision. I'm presenting you a vision. And you comparing the vision to something that you can touch and feel. And most people say, oh, man, I'm going where I touch and feel. Even though their religion tells them just the opposite, because they can't touch and feel any of that BS they believe in. But still they go make that choice. Say, oh, man, I'm going to get this job, man. See, I'm going to make this money. You understand? See, I want to party, man. I'm going to give me an iPhone. Give me a BMW. You understand? See? Those are tangible. See? And I'm telling you on the side of that finish line is a vision, right, of the new reality, the perfect reality of joy and happiness in life abundantly, but you can't see it, you can't touch it. But you got to step over the finish line to get it. And see, so they had the advantage because they tell you, man, you're going to walk away from this BMW here because he's telling you something on the other side that you don't even know is there. And if you step over there and it's the edge of a cliff, man, you're going to step into your destruction. You want to do that, man? Most people say, man, you're right, man. Hell, I got BMW. I got all this over here. That's a hard one. That's a hard one to break through the gravitational vortex. Because to break through it, you break into the unknown. See, when you go to the second floor, you don't know what's on the second floor, but you know what's on the first floor. So your second floor is the unknown. You ain't been there yet. You don't know what's up there. A lot of people are reluctant to go because it's like going to step into darkness. You step into dark, man. But you in the light, you know what's in the light. So you don't want to take a chance to step in dark because you don't know what's in there. They don't want to go to the second floor because that's the new reality. They don't know what's up there. And plus, it's nothing on the second floor anyway because they got to build this reality. So when you go to when you move into a promised land, you got to build your own reality. You got to build that nation. You can go step over there, it's there. You got to build it. But you don't have no idea, right? Because, you got to build it. But you got something here. See? You understand? So not only don't you know what's on, you don't know anything about the second floor's darkness, but once you get there, there ain't nothing up there. So now you got to build it. But you already built something on the first floor. Because you don't know the flood's going to come in and flood out the first floor. See? You understand the analogy here? And that's their advantage. Because often these things is tangible, that's about to be burned up. See? It's tangible. The first floor is tangible. But it's about to be a flood that's going to drown everybody on the first floor. So this is tangible, but it's about to be burned up. And if you're still here, you're going to have your BMW, but you're going to be roasted in it. You're going to have your house, but you're going to be burned up in it. You see? Because you've been safe if you stepped over the finish line, right? Into the unknown, right? To that vision, your true vision, and you've been safe. See, but it was dark over there because you can't see it. And all you can do is take the Suleiman's, right? All you can do is take his word. All you can do is take the word of scripture that you don't understand. Yet you got your BMW, man. You got your $100,000 job, man, right? You got your little love relationship going. You got your kids. You got the American dream, right? You got your hands on that. You can touch it and feel it. See? And they tell you to get it up for something that you can't see and have you don't know if it's there or not. That's a hard one. I tell you too, it's a hard one. See? I made that choice. See? It was hard, but I know that's me. I knew I'm just made that way. I would make that choice on any, no matter what. See? Because that's what I did. Exactly. That's exactly what I did. I told you, I was building this world's life. I was building the American dream. I was testing all the bases. I went to the military because I was basically orphaned and had nobody. I went there at 17, right? I'm in Vietnam about 3.5 years later, right? See, I'm a sergeant. I had wanted to be an officer. I could still be an officer. I was qualified. I was still thinking about it, right? I was getting a pen, a special program to get a Porsche. See, I was having education set up. Everything was laid out for me. All I had to do was finish. I had about 6 more months to go, maybe a year, something like that there. Once I finished, I'll come back, man. I was set for the American dream. I laid the foundation. Finished going to school, what we paid for. Got me a Porsche. You know what that was like in 1970? A brother coming back, man. He's in college with a Porsche. See, intelligent. I would have owned all the sisters up in Newark. That's my situation. I was building it because I didn't know anything else. So I said, this is all this. I'm going to make the best of it. I made myself, man, I said, I'm going to live this life and I'm going to make the best of it. And I was on the road. I was well on my way. You see? And then I ran to Malachi, a book, a Bible that I don't know where it came from, but I convinced myself that I believe in it. And I run into that. I'm reading the Bible, and I've been trying to read the Bible cover to cover, and I run to that. And I dropped all of that to go into the unknown, looking for Elijah. I already told you the story. I dropped all of that. Everybody thought, are you out of your damn mind? I took all my time building this up, and I dropped all that to walk into the unknown, to go to the second floor and see what the hell's up there. I dropped all of that. And at risk. Because when I walked away from the military, if they had caught me, right, that's a court martial, and that's 11 worth for 10, 20 years or whatever. That's called AWOL or desertion or whatever. I don't know how they would have characterized it. I mean, since I'm leaving walked away from Vietnam, they probably call it desertion. They probably wouldn't call it without leave, because you're leaving from a combat zone. And don't tell me, well, he was too afraid, because that was my second tour in Vietnam. It was my first one, so I wasn't there because it was a fear, because I was afraid. I was looking for Elijah. See? That's how I roll. I know that's almost impossible for most people to do. But that's me. That's my nature. Right? Because I'm going to do the right thing no matter what the cost is, personal or otherwise. And that's what I put my whole life. I put everything in jeopardy for a vision because of a scripture. And I hadn't broken the seals yet. I didn't have a thorough knowledge of the Bible at all. I had very little knowledge of the Bible. right? All I knew is what I'd been reading, and I didn't know whether to take it literally or allegorically or not. I hadn't, I didn't see the Bible as a puzzle back then, so I didn't even try to solve it in that sense. But I took that's the step I took. You see, and most people can't do that, but that's what you're required to do. That's what you're required to do if you want to make it to the promised land. That's what hereafter means. Hereafter this world's going, that's the promised land. And that's the criteria you have to do. That's if you want to make it. Because you was told that for Dr. Boz. He didn't hold back on you. He told you what to expect. And some agreed and some didn't. So now you're at the finish line and you got your BMW, you got your house, you got your mortgage, and then you got to break free, and you can't. And you're at the finish line. And you got peace and glory and joy and happiness and abundance of life right across that finish line. Well, it's dark and you can't see it. But you got everything on this side you can see. Oh man, look what I got there, man. Look what I got here, man. I got me this beautiful house. I got me this beautiful spouse. Beautiful kids. Man, I got me a beautiful ride. I got me a Benz, man. Got me a mansion. I'm living in a mansion, man. Trying to keep up with those demons. And they're telling you, and somebody come along and say, man, you got to get it up, man, for a vision, for a dream. Boy, man, you got your fifth in mind, man. That's why you see, and even the poorest of black folks, they still have the same thing because they're sitting around, man. They got their little apartment, right? See, what they call it, what they call those apartments, the government apartments and carrying on. I'm talking about Section 8 or whatever. They got that. They got a car, right? They got money coming in from the government. They got comfortable lives, see? And that's not a whole lot. But even they don't want to get that up because, man, you want to get up for it's like, man, I got $100, man, but I'm going to take it and put it, and that's all I got. I'm going to put it down for a chance to win 3-card Molly. Well, you got to your mind, man. That's all I got. That's my last Miss meal and everything. So they're going to say, even that. And they in America, right? The greatest country in the world. And you tell them, man, I'm going to give them my Section 8 apartment, man. I'm going to give them my car to the government give me. I'm going to get those checks they're sending me, man. I'm going to get up, right? To step over some line and some darkness because you say it's something over there. Even they won't have a problem. That's why you're getting the response you're getting from these people. Because you offer them a dream, right, when they got what they think is reality. Because that would make them think this is reality. Well, this is the real dream over here. It's a false vision, and it's about to be burned up. See? But your vision is real, but you don't see it that way. But they snatched it from you. Farrakhan telling you ain't going nowhere. That means your vision don't mean anything. The only vision that means is something is right here. Don't you see what's going on, brothers and sisters? So it's too hard. And that's why I said only 104,000 will be able to meet that challenge, to step across and follow the Lamb no matter wherever he goes. See? And follow him into darkness, which is the light. The darkness is the light. See, but they think this here is the light. This is the darkness here. See, everything is backwards. We trying to get you to step into the light. See? But you over here, you think you're in the light, you're in the darkness, which is about to be burned up. So all that BMW, all that stuff you think you're holding, this Section 8, all that stuff you think you're holding on to, is about to be burned up. But you don't know that. See? Because you don't want to step with the Lamb into the darkness, into the hereafter. Because you can't see the future. Only way you can see the future is through Scripture. And you don't know Scripture, so you can't see the future. All you can see is the present. That's all you can see. See? That means you got to step into darkness to go to the future. Because you don't know what the future is. You can take my word for it. See? And what the Scriptures reveal, unless what you think the Scriptures reveal, because most of you don't pay attention. You say you believe in the Bible, but you don't. Like the brother said, right? He says, yeah, y'all got the book, but you don't believe in it, because you don't practice anything it says. Most of you don't even read it. So that's the challenge, brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna kind of leave it there. I think I said quite a bit about the Lamb's book. Brothers and sisters, it has to be 100%. 99% just won't do. Ain't that song something like that? 90% just won't do. 99.9 just won't do, brothers. It has to be 100%. So don't come here trying to represent this angel message and you down here 80% and you misrepresent it, because now people think that you are the criteria and you're not. And so they think that's all they need to do, and then they get burned up, because if they 100%, they ain't going anywhere. And if I don't certify it and the Master Prophet Muhammad detect that I'm presenting a flawed product, he's not going to deliver you. Remember, I just give you the tickets. He's the one that he provides transportation. So he won't even show up. And I ain't taking that risk either. You see? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. 100%. So if you're going to say that you represent in the process of certification, then you better be 100%. And I decide what that is. Not you. So if you're 100%, then do not present yourself as being a representing me. Now you want to go in and tell people that, hey, y'all should listen to Brother Suleiman. You want to go there, but you don't put my name on it. You don't go into my, you're a messenger of the covenant. You don't go into my, you represent the messenger of the covenant. You don't talk about you're an angel warrior. You don't say any of that kind of stuff, because you're not. Because you're not representing this message. I don't want them to look at you and think that you are a representative of this message, that you are the criteria that they have to meet when you're not. See, I made that very clear. If anybody tries to do that, I will shut them down. See, I tell you what the criteria is. If you meet it, then fine. And you can show that you can represent yourself in that way. If you're not, then you cannot. I'm telling you, I make it very clear. Right? This is 100% or nothing. Says you're either with me or against me. That doesn't sound like there's a half-assed thing that you could be on the first floor and the second floor at the same time. So if you want to, if you claim that you represented me, then you better be representing me 100% the way I say you need to represent me, not the way you say. Not your idea. See, I tell you what the criterion is. You meet the criterion or you step back. And if you want to step back in the background and tell people, yeah, man, y'all need to listen to that brother, that's fine, no problem with that. But don't say you're representing me. Don't call yourself an angel warrior. Don't call yourself representing the messenger of the covenant, because you're not. I tell you what the criterion is, and I show you what the example you need to set. So people need to look at you and see, oh, I need to be like that to qualify. See, that's what they need to say. I need to be like that, so they know what the qualification is. When they see you, they need to see me. And they need to know, look and say, that's what the qualification needs to be. I need to be like that. Then that's the truth. And so they can see what they need to, then they can look and see if they can achieve that or not. We have to be honest with them. See? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. And one final thing, right? About this war. So everybody's getting discombobulated about this war with Russia. America's not at war with Russia. I mean, in a way they are, because actually they're committing actual war with this sanction and stuff. But see, in the nuclear world, right, they kind of like subdue that, because normally, I mean, if you go to war, right, with nuclear powers, there can be a nuclear war. So because when you put sanctions on people, that's an act of war. Back in World War II, that's why the Japanese went to war, because there was being embargo. That's an act of war. Everybody recognized that. If you do it to America, America will tear your ass apart. See? But so they commit acts of war right now against Russia. But see, in the nuclear age, right, if you take it, if you interpret it that way, that means you go to nuclear war, and nobody wants to do that. They ain't that stupid yet, but they're getting there. See? But it's actually a physical, kinetic war where they shooting at each other and everything else. They haven't got there yet. And America's not going there with Russia over this. So you people, I'm getting a lot of stuff from people. Oh man, they worried, they're nervous. A lot of people in this country are very nervous because they're scared. Oh man, this is it. And some people are ecstatic because the evangelicals, they want this war because they got misinterpretation of the scripture, and they think this is the war that's going to bring Jesus back. It's going to be a rapture and all that garbage. But anyway, there's a lot of anxiety for whatever reason, plus and negative. Anxiety for it, anxiety against it, whatever. Brothers and sisters, do not be worried about it. This is not the war of Armageddon. This is not going to spread like so-called with Farrakhan, so-called swan song. It's going to spread and of course to be arrested and all that BS. That's bullshit, right? It's not going to happen that way. So just calm down and focus on getting yourself together. Focus on grabbing your energy and applying it to yourself, and stop letting the demons fool you, trick you into misusing your energy to your own destruction. Because we're in a time of self-imposed energy deprivation, so we have enough energy to purify ourselves, but we're using the energy for watching Jay-Z videos and all that kind of stuff, because that's what we want you to do. Because you only have enough energy to maintain yourself, so and you use it for something else. And that means, right, that you're not purifying yourself. It says Allah loves those who purify themselves. And you're not purifying yourself because you're out there distracted with all this bullshit. So focus on that, bro. Since don't let this stuff get you upset. The thing that you need to see, I made it very clear to you that it says roars and rumors of wars. It tells you that would happen. The thing that you need to see is the abomination of desolation, the war in the Middle East. That's the one that's going to trigger Armageddon. When you see the war breaks out in the Middle East between false Israel, America, Britain, and so-called Saudi Arabia, they're going to be with false Israel. They're going to be with the devils. I told you years that would happen. Now you see it. So-called Abrahamic Accord against Iran. When you see that war breaks out, that's the one. That's the one that's going to ignite Armageddon, because that's the one where the forces of evil, the lies, Gog and Magog is defeated. That's where Gog and Magog comes to their destruction, because they're going to be defeated in the Middle East. That's the beginning of their destruction. And false Israel is going to be taken down. That's the abomination of desolation. When you see it, flee. I'm not going into details about it, but when you see false Israel, because remember, they have stolen identity, and that means if they choose Israel, they cannot be defeated. But then they're going to be defeated. They're going to be on the siege and be taken down. When that happens, they're going to realize that we're the true seed of Abraham, and then all the folks are going to be on us, and they're going to try to destroy us, because they're already in the process of thinking to destroy us right now. They're in the process of destroying us right now. They're thinking it out. It says, deal with them shrewdly. They have plans to get rid of, eradicate us right now. One of the reasons they have done it, because before they can complete their plan, execute it, Master Muhammad's going to go take that war out, and it will give you the opportunity to find out people what they're doing. Because see, if he didn't do that, you wouldn't have no warning. Next thing you know, you wake up in the morning and you'd be dead. They'd be pushing your concentration camps someplace, you'd be dead. But that's their plan. But see, they always, when they try to trick you, they always make you feel good. You think nothing's happening. That's why it says it'll come as a snare, that you won't see it coming. So right now you're getting this money, you're getting all these jobs, you get all these different things. They make you feel good. So you don't see it coming. But they're telling you that's what's coming. It's telling you to deal shrewdly with them, to eradicate them. See? But you don't live, oh man, I feel good. You're supposed to. Everything's going well for me. You're supposed to, because that's where they're setting you up. And then they're going to close the door on your ass. See? And you won't know, see what's happening. But Master Muhammad, by him making this move, he's going to trip their hand and let you see what they're planning, so you have a chance to get the hell out of town. Flee. That's what it's all about. That's why it says those days had to be shortened, or no soul will be left alive. What you think they're talking about? No soul will be left alive. They're talking about you. That's why days had to be shortened. And Master Muhammad had to do it before they was ready. That's what chapter 6 says in the Angel, the 6th seal. It says a wind blew to make the figs fall before they was ready, before it was ripe, because they was about to destroy you. And he tipped their hand. That's why you got to flee. But then the process, that was part of the process of destroying you. But now you get a warning. And brothers, I'm trying to make it clear to you. See? So I'm just telling you, the abomination of desolation is when you see Israel surrounded by armies. That means they're on the siege now. They're going to be on the siege. See? That means their desolation is not. It means their destruction is about to happen. That means flee. That gives you a warning. So when you see that, run. Get the hell out of town. They say, why flee? Right? Why not? You can't go in your house and everything. Because it's not the army coming after you. It's not the police force coming after you. It's your neighbors. Because now they realize that you're true seed of Abraham, right? And you're the reason why they're catching all this hell. Because the 9 plagues is the war. The war of Armageddon, that's another story. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. Hope you understand. So keep that in mind. You might call me crazy on me and everything else, but when you see that, you're going to remember I told you, and you're going to need to know what to act, because when they get under siege, right? See, it's going to cause shock waves all through the world. See, and you're going to cause shock waves to you too. See? But then you're going to wake up, and your heart's going to freeze up, and then your mind going to say, "What?" Like a deer caught in the head. A truck bearing down, he don't know what to do, because now his heart is frozen in fear. See, fear is a product of the heart, not the mind. The mind don't know anything about fear. It's your heart that gets. That's where you feel it in your heart. Heart knows fear. Heart responds to fear, and then when it's fine fear, it shuts down, and then it obeys the mind. It asks the mind, "What should I do? What should I do?" If the mind doesn't know, then it's dead. And so I'm putting information out there, so when your heart freezes up because of the fear that's about to come on, because it says, great fear came upon all of those that witness it. When that fear comes and locks your heart up, then you ask what to do, you're going to know. That's why we put this information out there. We land these seeds. So oh man, you remember, I remember that crazy old man, he told me. I remember, flee north. Don't waste no time, just go. That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum.